Cassius Marcellus Clay Jr. was born in Louisville, Kentucky on January 17, 1942. Cassius Clay Jr. was raised Baptist by his parents, Cassius Clay Sr. and Odessa Grady Clay. At a young age, Clay witnessed and experienced the discrimination against African Americans living in America. In the summer of 1955, Clay was affected deeply by the murder of Emmett Till, a young 14-year-old African American boy who was brutally murdered in Mississippi for a flirtatious remark at a convenience store cashier woman. This event forever scarred his memory. At age 12, Cassius Clay and his friend rode their bikes down to the Columbia Auditorium to play. Once they were finished, they went back to retrieve their bikes. However, Clay's bike was missing. Joe Martin, a local police officer and civil rights activist, approached Clay to comfort the young child. Cassius Clay told Martin that he was going to whoop whoever took his bike. Martin advised Clay that if he wanted to beat someone up, he better learn how to fight first. Luckily for Clay, Martin was willing to coach him through his local youth boxing program. This event changed his life forever. With Martin as his mentor and coach, Cassius Clay was able to win 108 bouts, 6 Kentucky Golden Glove championships, and 2 national AAU titles before the age of 18. Clay was beginning to be recognized as the Mighty Mouth, the People's Champion, and the greatest of all time. In 1960, Cassius Clay was invited to the Olympic Games in Rome. Here he was awarded a gold medal in boxing for the United States. Once Clay returned to America after his victory in Rome, he went out to eat at a restaurant, but was denied service because of the color of his skin. Clay was disgusted at the segregation blacks still had to experience in America, and decided to take his gold medal from the Olympics and throw it off a bridge into the Ohio River. This was to symbolize his frustration and aggression towards racism in the United States. But this did not stop Cassius Clay from achieving his goals. After the Olympics, Clay began his career as a professional boxer. His ultimate goal was to be the next heavyweight champion. In order to win his title, Clay had to defeat the defending champion, Sonny Liston. Clay was most known for taunting and harassing his opponents before and during his boxing matches. Clay kept harassing Liston until he agreed to fight him on February 25, 1964. This led to Cassius Clay's unexpected defeat against Sonny Liston, which blew the American fans and media away. Shortly after winning this match, Clay announced to the press that he converted his religion to the Nation of Islam, which was seen as a militant black Muslim group at the time. Cassius Clay was greatly influenced by his close friend Malcolm X to join the Nation of Islam. The two first met at a rally in Chicago where Malcolm X was the lead speaker. His speech inspired and mesmerized Cassius Clay. Malcolm X caught interest in Clay in hopes that he could attract more admirers to the Nation of Islam. They both shared many of the same beliefs and wanted to fight in the same war against racism. However, many other civil rights leaders opposed Malcolm X and Cassius Clay's ideologies. Leaders such as Martin Luther King Jr., Jackie Robinson, and Floyd Patterson all criticized the two for doing the complete opposite of what they stood for and believed that they were a setback to the civil rights movement. But this did not discourage Clay from believing in his newfound faith. As Clay's popularity began to rise, Malcolm X's influence started to decline. Malcolm X was criticized for revealing that the nation's founder, Elijah Muhammad, had several out-of-wedlock children with his secretaries. This frustrated Elijah Muhammad, so he suspended Malcolm and forbade him to speak publicly. After this incident, Malcolm fled from the Nation of Islam. Cassius Clay did not follow Malcolm X. Instead, he turned his back on him because he felt offended by his disloyalty to their religion. From this display of devotion to the Nation of Islam, Elijah Muhammad changed Cassius Clay's name to Muhammad Ali. Ali was extremely ecstatic to finally get rid of his slave name. He chose Muhammad Ali because Muhammad meant worthy of all praises, and Ali meant most kind. Anyone who challenged Muhammad Ali's faith would be proven wrong in the boxing ring, starting with Floyd Patterson. Weeks before their fight, Patterson spoke out against black Muslims and would refuse to call Ali by his Muslim name. He would call him Clay instead. This would fire up Muhammad Ali, and he would verbally harass Patterson back. On the day of their fight, Ali knocked out Patterson in the 12th round. Soon, Ali would become one of the most controversial figures in his day. In 1965, the Louisville draft order status changed to 1A, which qualified Muhammad Ali for military service. Ali was previously disqualified for the draft because he failed the military aptitude test. Ali made a statement in response to the draft saying, "I ain't got no quarrel with those Viet Congs." Many people were upset with Ali's response to the change, because he believed he should not be fighting in the white man's war. Feeling the political pressures of the American citizens, Ali's next bouts got scheduled overseas. On April 28, 1967, Muhammad Ali went to the Houston Induction Center for the United States Armed Forces. When his name was called to step up for induction, Ali remained still and refused to step forward. Ali was then removed from the lineup and taken away to another room to make his statement. He informed the troops that he could not join the army due to his religious beliefs. It was against his core principles to murder a person he did not have a quarrel with. The army offered Ali an opportunity to not fight in the war, but instead provide the troops with free entertainment. Ali declined their offer because it was also against his faith to fight in any capacity that aided a war he believed was morally unacceptable. This aggravated the army, and they released a press statement announcing Muhammad Ali's refusal to join the armed forces. The decision was now up to the United States Attorney's Office. The backlash of this announcement began a tormented life for Muhammad Ali. Before Ali was charged with any crime, the New York State Boxing Commission stripped Ali of his boxing license, as well as his heavyweight championship title. All other states nationwide did the same. Then, the U.S. government stripped Ali of his passport to deny him the freedom to travel overseas, which was a large portion of his financial income at the time. Anti-war protests and rallies were also being held at many college campuses around the U.S. College students would invite Ali to speak at their rallies. Not only was Muhammad Ali the greatest fighter ever, but he was also the greatest speaker. He would speak to the students and promote Black power and Black pride. His speeches were inspirational and had a powerful message.
I'm not going to help nobody get something my Negroes don't have. If I'm going to die, I'll die now, right here fighting you. You my enemy. My enemy is the white people, not Viet Congs or Chinese or Japanese. You my opposer when I want freedom. You my opposer when I want justice. You my opposer when I want equality. You won't even stand up for me in America for my religious beliefs, and you want me to go somewhere and fight, but you won't even stand up for me here at home.
Muhammad Ali was willing to go to jail for his religious beliefs and fight for equality. In 1971, the United States Supreme Court reversed Muhammad Ali's charges, and he was finally able to step into the ring again. After successfully fighting his way through many cruel bouts, Muhammad Ali was able to achieve his heavyweight championship title back from defending champions 3 times in his boxing career. He was the only heavyweight fighter to set this record in boxing history. After losing his next 2 bouts in his professional career, Muhammad Ali felt it was finally time to throw in the towel. He ended his career with a 56-5 record. 3 years after Muhammad Ali retired from his boxing career, he was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease caused by repeated blows to the head in 1984. Ali wanted to continue his legacy after his boxing career. He felt it was finally his true calling to promote tolerance and world peace to uplift individuals around the world who have been overlooked. Ali continued to study philanthropy and humanitarianism. He supported Parkinson's research, the Special Olympics, and the Make-A-Wish Foundation. In 1990, Muhammad Ali traveled to Iraq in hopes to help the peace process and bring back U.S. hostages. After meeting with Saddam Hussein, Ali was successful at releasing the 15 hostages into his custody and was able to return back home to the United States with them. Many people in the media responded to Ali's act of kindness as a way to attract more publicity to himself. Ali responded in a statement saying, "I do need publicity, but not for what I do for good. I need publicity for my book. I need publicity for my fights. I need publicity for my movie, but not for helping people." Then it is no longer sincere. In 1998, Ali joined the United Nations as a messenger of peace for his great work overseas. Later in 2005, he was awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom. After his 32-year battle with Parkinson's disease, Muhammad Ali died in 2016, but left his everlasting legacy behind. He who is not courageous enough to take risks will accomplish nothing in life.